In the warm, tropical waters where the mighty Indian and Pacific Oceans converge, a hidden world of astonishing abundance unfolds beneath the waves. Here, at this aquatic crossroads, the boundaries between continents blur, and the sea itself becomes a living tapestry of colour and movement. This is the Coral Triangle, a vast, intricate underwater wilderness that stretches across 6 nations: Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Papua New Guinea, Timor-Leste, and the Solomon Islands. Each of these countries cradles a piece of this marine treasure, their coastlines fringed by some of the richest reefs on Earth. Scientists often call it the Amazon of the oceans, and the comparison is no exaggeration. Like its terrestrial counterpart, the Coral Triangle is a sanctuary of life, a place where evolution has flourished in spectacular ways. Though it covers just 1.6% of the planet's ocean surface, the Coral Triangle is the undisputed epicenter of marine biodiversity. Its reefs pulse with life, forming the heart of the world's underwater ecosystems. Here evolution has run wild, sculpting a living masterpiece of diversity. Every inch of reef is a riot of colour and form, where new species are still being discovered and ancient lineages thrive side by side. This underwater garden is a mosaic of life, where corals bloom in every imaginable hue and fish dart through labyrinths of living stone. The sheer variety of shapes, colours, and behaviours is a testament to nature's boundless creativity. The numbers here are staggering. In a single glance, one might witness thousands of fish swirling in synchronized motion, their scales flashing like living jewels in the sunlight. Over 600 species of reef-building corals call this region home, more than 3/4 of all known coral species on Earth. These corals are the architects of the reef, constructing vast limestone cities that rise from the seafloor. These intricate coral structures provide shelter, food, and nurseries for a multitude of creatures. Within their crevices, tiny fish find refuge, while larger predators patrol the outer walls. Over 2,000 species of reef fish weave through these coral forests, painting the seascape with every shade imaginable. From the smallest gobies to the dazzling parrotfish, each species plays a role in the intricate balance of the reef. The Coral Triangle is not only a haven for the small and delicate, it is also a sanctuary for giants. 6 of the world's 7 species of sea turtles glide gracefully above the reefs, their ancient forms a living link to the distant past. Here, formidable predators like sharks and barracuda patrol the waters, their presence a reminder of the raw power and constant competition that shapes life in this arena. This extraordinary concentration of life is no accident. It is the result of millions of years of geological and biological evolution, shaped by the forces of water, earth, and time. The region's unique geography, volcanic islands rising abruptly from the sea, deep trenches plunging into darkness, and a maze of channels and straits, creates a patchwork of habitats, each with its own microclimate and community. Warm, nutrient-rich currents surge through this labyrinth, delivering life-sustaining food and oxygen. These currents act as the arteries of the Coral Triangle, nourishing its inhabitants and fueling explosive growth. Plankton blooms in the sunlit shallows, forming the base of a food web that stretches from the tiniest shrimp to the largest whales. Every creature, from microscopic algae to massive filter feeders, is linked in a chain of life that pulses with energy. The Coral Triangle's habitats are as varied as its inhabitants. Shallow seagrass beds sway in the currents, while steep drop-offs plunge into the abyss. Each zone offers a unique refuge, supporting species found nowhere else on Earth. Our journey will lead us through these realms, each a kingdom with its own rulers, its own dramas, and its own unwritten laws. We will explore the hidden corners of this underwater world, where survival is a daily contest and beauty is everywhere. We will witness the intricate dance of survival. Swift predators hunting in coordinated packs, their movements a display of strategy and speed. Meanwhile, elusive prey employ masterful camouflage, vanishing into the coral or mimicking their surroundings to evade detection. Every creature, from the tiniest invertebrate to the largest predator, is woven into a delicate web of interdependence. Their lives are intertwined, each action rippling through the ecosystem. Here, partnerships are forged, some for mutual benefit, others for survival. Dramatic battles and unexpected alliances shape the fate of individuals and the future of the reef itself. Yet this marvel of nature faces unprecedented challenges. As the world changes, so too does the fate of the coral triangle. Its story is one of resilience and vulnerability, of ancient wonders and uncertain futures. This is the coral triangle, the ocean's most ruthless, beautiful arena. Far from any shore, in the heart of the Sulu Sea, lies a remote and fiercely protected sanctuary, Tubataha Reef's Natural Park in the Philippines. Here, the ocean's wildness is undiluted, and the rhythms of life are dictated by the ancient laws of predator and prey. This is a fortress of coral, a pair of isolated atolls rising abruptly from the abyssal depths. The reef walls plunge vertically for over 100 meters, forming a dramatic underwater escarpment. These sheer cliffs are adorned with vibrant corals, sponges, and sea fans, creating a labyrinthine habitat that is both breathtaking and forbidding, a true stronghold for marine life. Within this maze, life is governed by the predator. This kingdom belongs to the shark, and its undisputed ruler is the white-tip reef shark. Sleek and vigilant, these sharks are perfectly attuned to the pulse of the reef, their senses finely tuned to the faintest vibrations and scents in the water. In Tubataha, white-tip reef sharks are found in the highest density recorded anywhere on Earth. They glide effortlessly through the coral corridors, their presence a constant reminder of the reef's wild order. As guardians of the reef, they patrol tirelessly, maintaining the delicate balance of this vibrant community. Their mere presence shapes the behavior of every creature around them, from the smallest damselfish to the largest groupers. The white-tip reef shark is a master of its domain. Slender and agile, it grows to about 1.6 meters long, its flexible body allowing it to slip through the tightest crevices and overhangs. Its nocturnal eyes are adapted to the dim light beneath the coral, and its keen sense of smell can detect a single drop of blood in millions of liters of seawater. During the day, these sharks often rest in groups on the sandy bottom or in the cool shadows of underwater caves. Here they lie motionless, conserving energy, their gills gently fanning the water. This communal resting behavior is unique among reef sharks, offering safety in numbers and a rare moment of peace in an otherwise competitive world. But as the sun sets and darkness envelops the reef, the white tips awaken. Night transforms them into relentless hunters, their senses heightened, their movements swift and purposeful. They probe every crevice and crack in the coral, searching for small fish, octopus, and crustaceans hiding within. Their slender bodies and flexible fins allow them to reach prey that few other predators can access. With a sudden burst of speed, they flush out their quarry, snapping up anything that tries to escape. By keeping the populations of these smaller species in check, the white tips act as the reef's regulators. Their predation ensures that no single group overwhelms the ecosystem, preventing outbreaks of coral-eating species and maintaining the intricate balance that allows the reef to flourish. The constant presence of these sharks is a sign of a truly healthy and robust coral reef system. Their patrols are a testament to Tubataha's pristine condition, where the natural order remains undisturbed and every species has its place. Yet the white-tips are not the only formidable hunters here. Tubataha's reefs are a stage for a diverse cast of predators, each playing a unique role in the ecosystem's drama. Sometimes the white-tips share their hunting grounds with the powerful Giant Trevally. These muscular, silver predators hunt in coordinated schools, their movements synchronized as they prepare to strike. The Giant Trevally use teamwork to their advantage, herding schools of smaller fish against the steep reef walls. In a flurry of motion, they create a whirlwind of confusion, isolating their prey before launching a rapid, decisive attack. In a remarkable example of interspecies cooperation, giant trevally have been observed following white-tip reef sharks as they hunt. This partnership is a testament to the complex relationships that define life on the reef. The sharks flush prey from the coral labyrinth, and any fish that escapes into open water is quickly intercepted by the waiting trevally. This ruthless but effective strategy increases the hunting success of both species, demonstrating the intricate web of interactions that sustains the reef. It is a partnership of convenience, forged by necessity in a world where only the most adaptable survive. Here, competition and cooperation are two sides of the same coin, shaping the destiny of every creature in the reef. Lurking in the deeper waters at the edge of the atoll is the apex predator of Tubataha, the magnificent tiger shark. This solitary hunter patrols the blue, its presence felt even when unseen. Growing up to 5 meters long, the tiger shark is a formidable omnipredator. Its broad, blunt snout and powerful jaws allow it to hunt almost anything it encounters, from sea turtles and rays to smaller sharks. Its striped flanks fade with age, but its reputation as a top predator never diminishes. The presence of such a large and powerful predator at the very top of the food chain is the ultimate indicator of a thriving ecosystem. Only a reef rich in life can support such a formidable hunter. The abundance of prey, from the tiniest cleaner shrimp to the most elusive fish, signifies that the reef is productive at every level. Each link in the food web is vital, and the sharks are the keystone that holds it all together. Tubataha is a perfect example of a complete and functioning marine food web, a true coral fortress ruled by the shark. Here in the realm of the shark, the ancient dance of predator and prey continues, undisturbed and magnificent, a living testament to the power and beauty of the wild ocean. On the northern coast of New Britain Island in Papua New Guinea lies Kimbe Bay, a spectacular marine environment renowned for its crystal-clear waters, vibrant shallow reefs and dramatic deep-water drop-offs. Here, the Coral Triangle's legendary biodiversity is on full display, and every corner of the reef pulses with life and danger. This is a kingdom defined by speed and power, a place where high-speed pursuits are a daily occurrence. The open water becomes a stage for relentless chases, as predators and prey engage in a never-ending contest of survival. Every movement is calculated. Every second counts. The undisputed apex predator of these reefs is the colossal giant grouper. With its massive muscular body and powerful jaws, it rules the coral labyrinth with silent authority. Reaching up to 2.7 meters in length and weighing 400 kilograms, this solitary behemoth is a master of the ambush. Its mottled skin blends seamlessly with the reef, allowing it to vanish into the shadows. It lurks patiently in the shadows of the reef, waiting for an unsuspecting fish to pass by before engulfing it whole with its enormous mouth, using powerful suction to draw its prey in. The strike is sudden, a burst of energy that leaves no chance for escape. In the blink of an eye, the hunter becomes invisible once more, blending back into the reef's intricate maze. While the grouper relies on stealth and raw power, other predators in Kimbe Bay depend on speed and numbers. Here, the art of the hunt takes many forms, each adapted to the unique challenges of the Coral Triangle's crowded ecosystem. The chevron barracuda is a prime example. With its torpedo-shaped body and razor-sharp teeth, it is built for both speed and precision. These sleek silver torpedoes hunt in large, mesmerizing schools, sometimes numbering in the hundreds. Their collective movement is a living current, a force that sweeps through the water with breathtaking synchrony. They form a swirling vortex of shimmering bodies, a coordinated hunting machine that can reach speeds of over 40 kilometers per hour. The school's tight formation confuses prey, making it nearly impossible for a single fish to escape the onslaught. By surrounding their prey, they create a bait ball, a panicked mass of smaller fish that becomes an easy target. The barracuda dart in and out, picking off individuals with surgical precision, while the bait ball contracts ever tighter in a desperate attempt to survive. Their synchronized movements are a breathtaking display of collective hunting, a silver spiral of death that dominates the mid-waters of the bay, showcasing the beautiful and deadly efficiency of group tactics. In these moments, the line between predator and prey blurs, as survival depends on both individual skill and the power of the group. Occasionally, transient visitors arrive in the bay, bringing with them an even higher level of predatory intelligence and teamwork. These newcomers are drawn by the abundance of prey and the dynamic energy of the coral triangle's food web. Orcas, or killer whales, are sometimes seen in small family pods, their iconic black and white fins slicing through the surface. These apex predators are rare visitors, but their presence sends ripples of tension through the local food chain. These are the ocean's master strategists, using sophisticated communication and coordinated hunting techniques passed down through generations. Each pod has its own unique dialect and hunting traditions, tailored to the challenges of their environment. They employ echolocation to find their prey in the deep, and work together to herd fish, or even create powerful waves to wash seals off ice floes in other parts of the world. In the Coral Triangle, their tactics adapt to the local prey, demonstrating remarkable flexibility and intelligence. Their presence in Kimber Bay, however brief, adds another layer of complexity to this high-speed kingdom, a reminder of the ocean's interconnectedness. Every arrival shifts the balance, as resident predators adjust their strategies in response to these formidable newcomers. Yet, even these apex predators are not without challenges. The Coral Triangle is a true arena, where dominance is constantly contested and no victory is ever permanent. Pilot whales, often called the cheetahs of the ocean, also frequent these waters. Their social bonds are strong, and their group cohesion is unmatched among marine mammals. They travel in tight-knit social groups, and are known for their incredible burst speed, capable of diving to depths of over 800 meters to hunt squid. Their deep dives are feats of endurance, pushing the limits of mammalian physiology. Remarkably, these smaller whales have been observed mobbing orcas, using their superior numbers and agility to harass and chase away the much larger predators. This boldness is a testament to the complex social dynamics and alliances that shape life in the Coral Triangle. This bold behavior demonstrates a complex social dynamic among the ocean's giants, a fascinating power play that unfolds in the deep blue arena of Kimber Bay. Here, every encounter is a test of speed, strength, and strategy, a living testament to the relentless, ever-evolving dance of predators in the Coral Triangle, where the only constant is change and the pursuit of survival never ends. In the far eastern reaches of Indonesia, at the very heart of the Coral Triangle, lies an archipelago of breathtaking beauty known as Raja Ampat. With over 1,500 jungle-clad islands scattered across turquoise waters, this is the kingdom of coral itself, a living tapestry woven from countless threads of life. Raja Ampat boasts the highest recorded diversity of corals on the planet, with vast unbroken gardens of over 600 hard coral species creating an underwater landscape of unparalleled complexity and color. These reefs are the foundation of a sanctuary that supports an astonishing array of marine life. These are the most vibrant and resilient coral forests on Earth, a sanctuary where life has exploded into a dizzying array of forms. Here, every crevice and coral head is alive with movement, and every current carries the promise of sustenance. Among the most iconic inhabitants of this underwater realm is the gentle and intelligent Reef Manta Ray. With its majestic 5-meter wingspan, the manta glides effortlessly above the coral gardens, its movements both powerful and serene, a living embodiment of grace. The Reef Manta Ray is a marvel of evolution. Unlike many of the ocean's giants, it is not a predator in the traditional sense. Instead, it is a filter feeder, gliding through the water with its cavernous mouth agape, sieving vast quantities of microscopic plankton from the currents. Its cephalic fins, unfurled like horns, help funnel food into its mouth as it moves in slow looping circles through rich feeding grounds. The manta's survival is inextricably linked to the health of the coral reefs it calls home. These reefs are not just a backdrop, they are the very engine that powers the food web, generating the plankton blooms that sustain the mantas and countless other species. Mantas are creatures of habit, returning again and again to specific locations on the reef known as cleaning stations. These sites are bustling hubs of activity where the mantas hover patiently, sometimes for hours, awaiting the attention of their tiny helpers. Here, small, cleaner wrasse and butterfly fish swarm over the manta's vast body, darting in and out of its gills and along its wings. They remove parasites, dead skin, and debris, providing a vital service that keeps the manta healthy and free from infection. This symbiotic relationship is a delicate balance. The cleaner fish depend on the coral for shelter and breeding grounds, while the mantas depend on the fish for their well-being. The health of these cleaning stations is, in turn, entirely dependent on the vibrant coral that supports the cleaner fish. A healthy reef means healthy mantas. When the coral thrives, the entire ecosystem flourishes, and the mantas can continue their ancient rituals undisturbed. Sharing this sanctuary is the green sea turtle, another key inhabitant of the reef. These ancient mariners are the diligent gardeners of the coral forests, their presence as vital as the mantas themselves. As adults, green sea turtles are primarily herbivores, grazing on the seagrass beds and algae that grow in and around the coral forests. Their gentle feeding helps maintain the delicate balance of the ecosystem. This grazing is a vital service for the reef, preventing algae from overwhelming the corals and ensuring that sunlight can reach the vibrant polyps below. By keeping the algae in check, turtles prevent it from growing out of control and smothering the delicate corals, which need sunlight to survive. Their simple act of feeding helps maintain the health and beauty of their home. Without the turtles, the balance would be lost and the algae could quickly dominate, turning a vibrant coral garden into a dull, oxygen-deprived landscape. The green sea turtle, through its simple act of feeding, helps maintain the health and beauty of its home, ensuring the reef remains a sanctuary for all. Raja Ampat is also home to some of the most peculiar and specialized creatures in the ocean, each adapted to thrive in this complex environment. Here you can find the tasseled wobbegong, a shark that has mastered the art of camouflage, lying perfectly still on the seafloor, its mottled skin and fleshy tassels blending in seamlessly with the coral and rubble, luring in unsuspecting prey. It lies in wait, a living trap, its body almost indistinguishable from the reef itself, a testament to the evolutionary arms race that shapes life here. And then there is the incredible Raja Ampat epaulet shark, a species that has learned to walk. Using its fins like legs, it crawls across the shallow reef flats and into tide pools at low tide, able to survive for hours in low-oxygen environments. This remarkable adaptation allows the epaulet shark to exploit habitats inaccessible to most other predators, further enriching the diversity of life in Raja Ampat. These unique adaptations of mantas, turtles, sharks, and countless other species showcase the evolutionary creativity that flourishes within Raja Ampat's thriving coral forests. Here, in the manta's sanctuary, life is bound together in a web of interdependence, each creature playing its part in the ongoing story of the reef. Deep in the heart of Indonesia, the Wakatobi archipelago stands as a bastion of marine biodiversity. Here, the ocean is alive with movement, a crossroads where countless migratory journeys intersect, shaping the very fabric of life in the Coral Triangle. Its name, in fact, is an acronym of the four main islands: Wangi-Wangi, Kaladupa, Tomia, and Binonko. Together, they form one of the most vital crossroads in the Coral Triangle, a region renowned as the global epicenter of marine life. The reefs here are astonishingly rich, containing an estimated 90% of the world's coral species and over 900 species of fish. These reefs are not just static habitats, they are living highways, pulsing with the seasonal comings and goings of marine travelers. Wakatobi's true significance lies in its position along a major migratory superhighway. The narrow channels between these islands act as underwater thoroughfares, guiding marine life on epic journeys that span thousands of kilometers. Here, powerful ocean currents surge through deep channels, carrying with them a constant supply of nutrients. These currents are the lifeblood of the region, fueling plankton blooms that attract vast schools of fish and, in turn, the ocean's most formidable predators. Among the most important travelers on this superhighway is the yellowfin tuna. These sleek, muscular fish are the embodiment of speed and endurance, perfectly adapted for life on the move. Yellowfin tuna are streamlined oceanic predators, capable of reaching speeds up to 75 kilometers per hour. They travel in tightly coordinated schools, their silvery bodies flashing as they slice through the water in search of prey. Their migrations are among the longest in the ocean, spanning the vast expanse of the Pacific. Wakatobi's nutrient-rich waters serve as a crucial refueling station, a place where these tireless wanderers can rest and replenish their energy. Here, yellowfin tuna feed voraciously on dense schools of smaller fish that gather around the reefs. These feeding frenzies are a vital part of the migratory cycle, allowing the tuna to build up the reserves they need for the next leg of their journey. The health of Wakatobi's reefs is intimately connected to the survival of these oceanic travelers. A thriving reef means abundant prey, supporting not only tuna but a host of other migratory species that depend on these waters. Where there are tuna, there are often sharks. In Wakatobi, the presence of these apex predators is a testament to the richness of the ecosystem and the importance of these migratory routes. The silky shark, another master of the open ocean, is a constant companion to the tuna schools. These sharks are built for speed and efficiency, perfectly suited to life on the migratory highway. With skin so smooth it reduces friction in the water, the silky shark can keep pace with the fast-moving tuna, often shadowing their movements and joining in the hunt. Together, sharks and tuna sometimes herd schools of smaller fish into tight bait balls, creating a spectacle of coordinated predation. This strategy makes it easier for both predators to feed, demonstrating the complex relationships that develop along these migratory routes. The interplay between sharks and tuna is a powerful example of both competition and cooperation in the open ocean. Along the migratory superhighway, survival depends on adaptability, speed, and the ability to seize fleeting opportunities, but the migratory drama of Wakatobi is not limited to fish and sharks. This deep frontier is also a critical habitat for other magnificent migrants, such as the loggerhead sea turtle. Loggerhead turtles are powerful predators in their own right, equipped with massive jaws capable of crushing the hard shells of crabs, conchs, and clams. Their journeys span entire ocean basins, guided by ancient instincts and the invisible pull of the Earth's magnetic field. Wakatobi's rich benthic environment provides an essential feeding ground for these turtles. Here, amidst coral and sponge beds, they find the nourishment needed to sustain their long migrations across the world's oceans. Yet the journey is fraught with danger. Like many marine migrants, loggerhead turtles face immense threats from human activities. Entanglement in discarded fishing nets and the ever-present menace of plastic pollution, which they often mistake for food. The presence of these ancient mariners in Wakatobi underscores the urgent need to protect these vital migratory corridors. For countless species, these routes are not just highways, they are lifelines, connecting distant habitats and sustaining the incredible diversity of the Coral Triangle. Off the coast of Sabah in Malaysia, The remnants of an ancient submerged volcano have given rise to the Tun Sakaran Marine Park, a sanctuary sculpted by time and tides, where the ocean's most vulnerable find refuge. Here, tranquil lagoons shimmer in turquoise hues, bordered by intricate fringing reefs and lush seagrass meadows. These habitats form a living labyrinth, their calm waters a stark contrast to the restless open sea beyond. Within this maze, countless juvenile fish find shelter among waving seagrass blades and branching corals. The dense vegetation and coral thickets act as a cradle, protecting the young from lurking predators and strong currents, allowing them to grow in safety. Though Tun Sakaran is smaller than some of the Coral Triangle's sprawling reefs, its biodiversity is astonishing. Hundreds of coral species interlace to form vibrant gardens, while clouds of fish, damsels, wrasses and parrotfish, dart among the living architecture. This is a nursery for the next generation, where the fragile and the rare thrive. Endangered species mingle with the common, each playing a vital role in the intricate web of life. Cleaner wrasses tend to larger fish, while tiny invertebrates recycle nutrients, maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Among the most iconic residents is the Napoleon wrasse, a gentle giant gliding through the clear lagoon, its scales shimmering in the filtered sunlight. With its distinctive humped forehead and thick lips, the Napoleon wrasse can reach over 2 meters in length. It is one of the largest and most charismatic reef fish in the world, a living relic of ancient seas. The wrasse is more than a marvel to behold. It is a keystone predator. Few creatures dare to hunt the venomous crown-of-thorns starfish, but the Napoleon wrasse does so with remarkable skill, helping to keep these coral-eating invaders in check. Left unchecked, crown-of-thorns starfish can devastate entire reefs, consuming living coral tissue and leaving behind barren skeletons. The balance between predator and prey here is delicate, and the wrasse's appetite is crucial for the reef's survival. As the wrasse patrols its territory, it acts as a silent guardian, ensuring the coral gardens remain vibrant and alive for generations to come. Yet this gentle giant is now endangered. Its slow growth and late maturity make it especially vulnerable, and its decline threatens to unravel the very fabric of the reef it protects. In the calm, shallow waters, another vulnerable predator finds sanctuary, the blacktip reef shark. These lagoons are a vital nursery, where young sharks are born and raised away from the dangers of the open sea. Sleek and agile, the young blacktips glide over sandy bottoms and weave through coral and seagrass, hunting for small fish and crustaceans. Their streamlined bodies and acute senses make them perfectly adapted to this sheltered world. The mangroves and coral thickets provide a labyrinth of hiding places, shielding the pups from larger predators that patrol the deeper waters beyond the reef. Here, the young sharks hone their hunting skills, chasing darting fish and learning the ways of the reef in relative safety, a rare opportunity in the perilous world of the ocean. The presence of thriving shark nurseries is a powerful indicator of ecosystem health. Only the most productive and undisturbed habitats can support the earliest, most vulnerable stages of these apex predators' lives. The kingdom of Tun Sakaran is also a sanctuary for the critically endangered hawksbill sea turtle. These ancient mariners glide gracefully through the shallows, foraging among the coral and seagrass. With their ornate amber-patterned shells and narrow bird-like beaks, hawksbills are specialists. They delicately extract sponges and invertebrates from the crevices of the reef and among the tangled roots of mangroves, playing a unique role in shaping the reef's community. The seagrass beds and mangrove forests that fringe the lagoons are lifelines for these turtles, offering both nourishment and shelter. The dense roots and waving grasses provide safe passage and abundant food for these gentle grazers. For every 1,000 hatchlings that scramble from the sand to the sea, Only a handful will survive to adulthood. Predators and hazards abound, making protected havens like Tun Sakaran essential for the survival of future generations. In these last refugees, hope endures. The Coral Triangle's havens are sanctuaries not just for individual species, but for the future of the ocean's most vulnerable, each life a testament to the resilience and wonder of this underwater world. At the southern edge of the Coral Triangle lies Timor-Leste, a nation whose marine realm is a living tapestry of giants and mysteries. Here, the ocean's surface shimmers with promise, but it is beneath the waves that the true wonders unfold. Just beyond the shoreline, the seafloor plunges with breathtaking abruptness into the abyss, creating underwater cliffs that descend thousands of meters. This dramatic topography forms a rare and powerful intersection between the vibrant sunlit reefs and the shadowy, unexplored deep. In this transition zone, the last rays of sunlight fade and the bustling world of coral and reef fish gives way to the open blue, a realm where only the largest and most resilient creatures thrive. The Ombai-Wetar Strait, a deep and powerful channel, serves as a migratory superhighway for oceanic giants. Its swift currents and nutrient-rich waters draw in some of the largest animals on Earth, making it a crossroads for marine life on a grand scale. Here the ocean is ruled by giants. Humpback whales, whale sharks, and sperm whales all converge in these waters, their immense forms gliding through the blue with a grace that belies their size. Ataro Island, nestled within this marine corridor, boasts the highest recorded density of reef fish anywhere on the planet. This abundance is a testament to the region's extraordinary productivity, supporting a food web robust enough to sustain the largest of ocean wanderers. Each year, from June to November, the deep blue becomes a thoroughfare for the majestic humpback whale. These leviathans, known for their haunting songs and acrobatic displays, travel thousands of kilometers on their epic migration. Humpbacks move in loose groups, mothers guiding their calves through the strait, while males compete for attention with haunting songs that echo for miles. Their journey links the icy feeding grounds of the Antarctic with the warm, sheltered breeding waters of the Pacific. At times the surface erupts in a spectacle of power and beauty as a whale breaches, its massive body twisting through the air before crashing back into the sea. These breaches are thought to be both a form of communication and a way to dislodge parasites. In rare moments, groups of humpbacks display the remarkable behavior known as bubble net feeding. Working in perfect coordination, they spiral upward, releasing curtains of bubbles to corral schools of krill and small fish, then surge upward with mouths agape to engulf their prey. The annual migration of these whales is a living rhythm, a pulse that connects Timor-Leste to the farthest reaches of the ocean. Their passage is both predictable and awe-inspiring, a reminder of the vast interconnected world beneath the waves. Sharing these waters is the whale shark, the largest fish on Earth. Despite their size, these gentle filter feeders move with slow, deliberate grace, their dappled skin shimmering in the sunlight as they cruise near the surface. Drawn by seasonal blooms of plankton, whale sharks arrive between August and December. They glide through clouds of microscopic life, their cavernous mouths open wide, to filter thousands of liters of water every hour. Despite their formidable appearance, whale sharks are entirely harmless, feeding exclusively on plankton and small fish. Their slow, rhythmic movements are a testament to the abundance and health of these waters. The presence of whale sharks signals a thriving ecosystem where the smallest plankton support a web of life that stretches all the way up to the ocean's largest inhabitants. Where plankton flourishes, so too does the entire marine community. The abundance of these tiny organisms is the foundation upon which the giants of the Coral Triangle depend. Yet the true sovereign of these deep waters is the sperm whale. These colossal predators are among the deepest divers in the animal kingdom, capable of descending over 2,000 meters in pursuit of prey. In the inky darkness of the abyss, sperm whales hunt the elusive giant squid. Their battles are the stuff of legend, powerful, silent confrontations in a world without light. Sperm whales navigate and hunt using echolocation, producing the loudest biological sounds on Earth. Their clicks can travel for miles, bouncing off prey and obstacles, painting a sonic map of the deep. These whales live in tight-knit, matriarchal pods, their social bonds forged by years of shared journeys and deep-sea hunts. Together they embody the ultimate mastery of the ocean's greatest depths. Nowhere else do the world's largest marine animals come so close to land. In Timor-Leste, the giants of the deep and the vibrant life of the reef exist side by side, making this one of the most extraordinary places on Earth to witness the majesty and mystery of the ocean's true titans. Beneath the dazzling surface of the Coral Triangle, a world of silent threats lurks, hidden dangers that threaten the very heart of this underwater kingdom. For all its beauty and resilience, the Coral Triangle is facing a crisis of unprecedented scale, one that unfolds quietly, often unseen by human eyes. A host of insidious forces are converging on this paradise, pushing its delicate ecosystems to the brink of collapse. These threats are not always the result of human hands, but are woven into the very fabric of the ocean's natural cycles, now amplified by a changing world. The most pervasive and dangerous of these is ocean warming, driven by global climate change. As the sun's rays penetrate the shallow seas, the water absorbs more heat than ever before, raising temperatures to levels that corals have never experienced in their evolutionary history. The waters of the Coral Triangle are heating up at an alarming rate. Even a small increase in temperature can tip the balance, sending shockwaves through the intricate web of life that depends on the reef. When the water gets too warm for too long, corals become stressed and expel the symbiotic algae living in their tissues, a process known as coral bleaching. These tiny algae are the lifeblood of the reef, providing food and color to the corals. Without them, the once vibrant coral cities are transformed into ghostly white skeletons stripped of life and energy. The silence that follows is haunting, as fish and other creatures abandon the dying reef in search of shelter elsewhere. These marine heat waves are becoming more frequent and more severe, sweeping across the Coral Triangle like invisible wildfires. The heat lingers, and the corals struggle to recover, their resilience tested to the limit. In the 1980s, major bleaching events in the region occurred roughly once every 27 years. Today, they strike every 5 to 6 years, leaving the reefs with little time to heal before the next assault. The cycle of damage and recovery grows shorter, and the coral's strength is slowly eroded. Each new wave of heat leaves the reef more fragile than before. The global heat wave of 2023 was a particularly stark warning, affecting the vast majority of the world's oceans. The Coral Triangle, once a sanctuary, was not spared. If a reef is bleached, the corals are not yet dead, but they are starving and vulnerable. Their weakened state leaves them open to disease, predation, and further stress. If temperatures do not return to normal quickly, the corals will die, and the entire ecosystem that depends on them, the fish, the turtles, the sharks, will crumble, leaving behind a barren underwater desert. The silence deepens, and the reef's intricate tapestry unravels. The same carbon dioxide emissions that are warming our planet are also making the ocean more acidic. As CO2 dissolves into seawater, it triggers a chemical reaction that lowers the ocean's pH. This process, called ocean acidification, is invisible but relentless. It changes the very chemistry of the water, making it harder for corals and countless other creatures to survive. This osteoporosis of the sea makes it harder for corals, plankton, and mollusks to build their essential calcium carbonate skeletons and shells. Their defenses weaken, and their growth slows, leaving them exposed to the elements. Their structures become weaker, their growth is stunted, and their very survival is threatened. The reef's architecture, once robust and teeming with life, becomes brittle and vulnerable. At the same time, warmer waters hold less dissolved oxygen, creating vast, dead zones where marine life cannot survive. These hypoxic areas spread like invisible scars, suffocating the creatures that once thrived here. This triple threat of warming, acidification, and deoxygenation is fundamentally altering the ocean in ways we are only just beginning to understand. The balance of life is shifting, and the consequences ripple outward through the food web. Natural predators, too, can become a threat when the ecosystem is out of balance. The crown-of-thorns starfish, a voracious coral predator, can explode in numbers when its natural enemies are scarce, devouring vast swathes of living coral in a matter of weeks. Even the parrotfish, whose grazing helps keep algae in check, can become a double-edged sword. When coral is weakened, their feeding can further erode fragile skeletons, accelerating the decline. In some areas, jellyfish blooms surge as the balance tips, their numbers swelling in response to changing conditions. These gelatinous drifters can outcompete fish for food, further disrupting the ecosystem. Pollution, too, is not always visible. Fine sediments stirred up by storms or natural erosion can blanket corals, blocking sunlight and smothering delicate polyps. The water grows cloudy, and the reef's vibrant colors fade beneath a shroud of silt. Sometimes nutrient-rich waters trigger toxic algae blooms, turning the sea a murky green and robbing the reef of oxygen. These blooms can poison marine life and create dead zones where little can survive. Together, these silent threats, warming, acidification, deoxygenation, predation, and pollution, are creating a perfect storm below the surface. The Amazon of the ocean stands at a tipping point, its fate hanging in the balance, as the silent dangers below continue their relentless advance. Even as the Coral Triangle faces daunting threats, the ocean itself offers glimmers of hope, woven into the very fabric of its living reefs and teeming waters. Here, beneath the waves, vibrant coral gardens pulse with life. Shoals of silvery fish dart among branching corals, while sea turtles glide gracefully above forests of swaying anemones. These underwater sanctuaries are not just beautiful, they are resilient, capable of remarkable recovery when given the chance. In the heart of the Coral Triangle, entire ecosystems are fighting for survival. Yet, when destructive pressures are eased, nature responds with astonishing speed. Damaged reefs, once bleached and barren, can slowly regain their color as tiny coral polyps settle and grow, forming the foundation for new life. Marine protected areas, underwater refuges where fishing is restricted or banned, have become lifelines for countless species. Within these safe havens, parrotfish graze on algae, keeping reefs healthy, while groupers and snappers return in greater numbers, restoring the natural balance. Over 1,900 marine protected areas now dot the Coral Triangle, each a sanctuary where marine life can flourish. These protected zones are not isolated. They seed the surrounding seas with new generations of fish, corals, and invertebrates, breathing life into the wider ocean. In these sanctuaries, time-lapse footage reveals the slow but steady return of color and movement. Once devastated reefs become bustling metropolises, where clouds of damselfish swirl above staghorn corals and octopuses hunt among the rocks. The return of apex predators, sharks, rays, and large groupers, signals a healthy ecosystem. Their presence keeps populations in check and ensures the intricate web of life remains strong. Along the coastlines, mangrove forests, nature's nurseries, are being restored. These tangled roots shelter juvenile fish and crustaceans, providing a safe haven until they are ready to venture into the open sea. Mangroves also shield coral reefs from sediment and pollution, acting as a vital buffer between land and ocean. Underwater, armies of herbivorous fish and invertebrates work tirelessly, grazing on algae that would otherwise smother corals. Their daily routines are essential to the health and resilience of the reef. Hope is also found in the smallest of creatures. Tiny cleaner shrimp set up stations on coral heads, removing parasites from passing fish. Sea cucumbers sift through sand, recycling nutrients and keeping the ecosystem in balance. The coral triangle's resilience is a testament to the power of nature to heal itself, if given the space and time. Each coral polyp, each fish, each mangrove sapling plays a role in this grand recovery. The interconnectedness of these ecosystems means that hope in one corner of the reef can ripple outward, restoring balance across the entire region. Yet the threats remain global. Ocean warming and acidification, driven by carbon emissions, continue to challenge even the most resilient reefs. But the Coral Triangle's story is not one of inevitable decline. It is a story of possibility. Every positive change, every reduction in pollution, every protected area, every mangrove restored, strengthens the web of life beneath the waves. The Coral Triangle reminds us that the ocean is a single, interconnected system. What happens here echoes across the planet, shaping the future of marine life everywhere. In the shimmering light of dawn, as new coral colonies take root and schools of fish return, the Coral Triangle stands as a beacon of hope, a living testament to the resilience of nature and the promise of renewal, if only we choose to protect it. Beneath the sunlit surface, the Coral Triangle's reefs unfold like vibrant underwater cities, each coral head a skyscraper, every crevice a bustling avenue. Here, biodiversity reaches its zenith. Thousands of species coexist in a dazzling display of color and life. Butterfly fish weave through labyrinthine corals, while neon gobies perch atop branching staghorns, their tiny bodies flashing like living jewels. Every inch of reef is alive with intricate relationships. Clownfish nestle among the stinging tentacles of sea anemones, safe from predators, a partnership forged through generations. In return, the clownfish defend their host, chasing away would-be attackers and feeding it with nutrients from their waste. Cleaner wrasses set up stations, where larger fish pause for a moment of respite as parasites are gently plucked from their scales, a silent contract of mutual benefit. The reef's architects, coral polyps, work in unison, with microscopic algae called zooxanthellae. Bathed in sunlight, these algae provide energy to the corals through photosynthesis, fueling the growth of immense limestone structures that form the backbone of the ecosystem. In return, the polyps offer shelter and carbon dioxide, creating a symbiotic dance that powers the entire reef. Environmental factors shape every interaction. Tides bring a pulse of nutrients, while shifting currents deliver plankton to waiting mouths. Filter feeders like feather stars and basket sponges extend delicate arms, capturing the ocean's bounty. As dusk falls, a different cast emerges. Nocturnal hunters like moray eels and octopuses glide from their dens, while coral polyps unfurl their tentacles to feed under the cover of darkness. The diversity is staggering. Over 600 species of reef-building corals form the foundation for more than 2,000 species of reef fish, countless invertebrates, and untold numbers of undiscovered organisms. Every species, no matter how small, plays a role in this grand web. Herbivorous fish graze on algae, keeping coral surfaces clear, while burrowing shrimp and crabs aerate the sand, recycling nutrients vital to the reef's survival. Even in the absence of humans, the reef is a stage for constant drama and delicate balance, a living tapestry woven from countless threads of interdependence. In the heart of the Coral Triangle, life flourishes not in isolation, but through the strength of its connections. Here, the true wonder of the ocean is revealed, a world where every creature, every coral, is both a builder and a beneficiary of the greatest ecosystem on Earth. As sunlight fades and darkness settles over the Coral Triangle, a remarkable transformation unfolds beneath the waves. The vibrant cityscape of the reef dims, and the night shift awakens. Nocturnal life stirs, revealing a world few ever see, a realm shaped by shadows, moonlight, and the quiet pulse of survival. From hidden crevices, moray eels emerge, their slender bodies weaving through coral canyons in search of unsuspecting prey. Octopuses, masters of disguise, glide silently across the reef, their skin shifting color and texture to blend seamlessly with the nightscape. With a sudden flash, they unfurl their tentacles, snaring crabs and small fish with astonishing precision. Elsewhere, the reef becomes a hunting ground for lionfish, their feathery fins illuminated in the moonlight as they stalk sleeping fish. Parrotfish, meanwhile, cocoon themselves in a protective bubble of mucus, shielding against nighttime predators and parasites as they rest. The darkness is alive with other subtler dramas. Tiny plankton rise from the depths, drawn by the moon's gentle glow. They become a feast for filter feeders. Basket stars and feather stars extend their arms, catching the drifting banquet carried by nocturnal currents. Some creatures use the night to communicate and court. Bioluminescent algae sparkle with each movement, tracing the paths of swimming fish and dancing shrimp in glowing trails. Flashlight fish blink patterns of light to signal potential mates or confuse predators, turning the reef into an underwater constellation. Every adaptation tells a story of survival. Larger eyes for seeing in the dark, muted colors for stealth, and heightened senses tuned to the faintest vibrations. In these hours, the Coral Triangle's reef reveals its mysterious side, one where danger and opportunity exist in equal measure, and every heartbeat is a delicate negotiation between hunter and hunted. In the silence of night, the reef breathes and pulses, its secrets guarded by shadows. Here, life thrives not only in the brilliance of day, but in the magic and mystery of the deepening dusk. Beneath the tranquil surface of the Coral Triangle, unseen forces are at work. Currents and tides, the invisible architects of this underwater world. Like rivers within the ocean, these moving waters shape every corner of the reef, influencing where life flourishes and how ecosystems thrive. As the moon and sun tug at the sea, tides rise and fall, orchestrating daily rhythms that dictate the behavior of countless species. During high tide, nutrient-rich waters flood the reef, bringing a fresh supply of food for filter feeders and plankton grazers. When the tide recedes, shallow pools become safe havens for juvenile fish and invertebrates, shielded from larger predators. Oceanic currents, driven by global winds and the rotation of the Earth, sweep through the Coral Triangle, connecting distant habitats and carrying larvae across vast distances. These currents act as highways for life, dispersing the next generation of corals, fish, and other creatures to colonize new reefs and maintain genetic diversity. Without these watery corridors, isolated populations would struggle to survive, and the vibrant tapestry of life would begin to unravel. The strength and direction of currents sculpt the very structure of the reef, carving channels and shaping coral growth. Some species, like the majestic manta ray, ride these currents to find food and mates, while others, such as tiny gobies, cling tightly to the shelter of coral branches, waiting for the flow to pass. Even the health of the reef depends on these dynamic forces. Strong currents sweep away sediments and pollutants, keeping coral polyps clean and allowing sunlight to reach the thriving ecosystem below. Yet, when currents weaken or change course, the balance can tip, smothering corals and altering the delicate web of life. In the Coral Triangle, currents and tides are more than just movements of water. They are the pulse of the reef, the silent engineers that shape where life begins, grows, and endures. Their ceaseless motion ensures that this underwater kingdom remains ever-changing, resilient, and alive. Beneath the sunlit reefs and swirling currents lies a world shrouded in perpetual darkness, the deep sea of the Coral Triangle. Here, where sunlight fails to penetrate and pressures soar, life has evolved in astonishing ways. Meet the masters of the abyss creatures, whose very existence is a testament to nature's ingenuity. In these inky depths, bioluminescence reigns supreme. Lanternfish flicker like living stars, using their glowing patterns to communicate, attract mates, and confuse would-be predators. The gulper eel, with its enormous mouth and luminous lure, dangles temptation in the blackness, waiting patiently for an unwary meal to drift by. Many deep-sea dwellers have bodies built for survival in extreme conditions. The fangtooth's oversized jaws and needle-sharp teeth ensure that no meal is missed, no matter how scarce. Others, like the glass squid, are nearly invisible, translucent bodies reflecting the faintest traces of light, rendering them ghosts in the water. Adaptation here means more than just finding food. The vampire squid, neither squid nor octopus, floats effortlessly, conserving precious energy, its webbed arms unfurl to cloak itself in a cloud of inky mucus, a defense against unseen attackers. Meanwhile, the tripod fish perches motionless on the sea floor, long fins acting as stilts in the soft sediment, waiting for tiny organisms to drift within reach. Each of these creatures plays a vital role in the hidden ecosystem below. As scavengers, predators, and prey, they recycle nutrients and sustain the delicate balance of the deep. Their adaptations, strange, beautiful, and sometimes terrifying, are keys to survival in a world where only the most resourceful endure. In the shadowy heart of the coral triangle, the masters of the abyss remind us, even in the darkest corners of the ocean, life finds a way, thriving against all odds in the endless night. As the sun rises above the coral triangle, its golden rays touch waters teeming with life. Yet beneath the surface, an invisible battle is being waged, a battle against the relentless advance of climate change. The ocean, once a stable cradle for countless marine species, is now a shifting arena shaped by warming temperatures, acidifying waters, and unpredictable currents. Coral reefs, the very foundation of this underwater paradise, are among the first to feel the strain. As sea temperatures rise, corals expel the symbiotic algae that give them color and sustenance, leading to widespread bleaching. Bleached corals, ghostly white and fragile, struggle to survive. In the coral triangle, mass bleaching events have become more frequent, threatening to unravel the intricate web of life that depends on these reefs. The impacts ripple outward. Fish species that rely on vibrant corals for food and shelter find their homes disappearing. Some, like the clownfish, lose their protective anemones, victims of changing conditions. Others, such as the bumphead parrotfish, face dwindling food supplies as algae-covered reefs decline. The loss of habitat pushes species into unfamiliar territories, disrupting age-old migratory routes and predator-prey relationships. Meanwhile, the chemistry of the ocean itself is changing. Increased carbon dioxide dissolves into seawater, driving ocean acidification. This subtle shift erodes the calcium carbonate skeletons of corals, mollusks, and plankton, weakening the very foundation of the food chain. Tiny pteropods, delicate sea butterflies, struggle to build their shells, while giant clams and reef-building corals grow more slowly, if at all. Even the deep-sea masters of the abyss are not immune. Shifting currents and temperature gradients alter the availability of nutrients, sending shockwaves through food webs that reach from the surface to the darkest depths. Yet, amid these challenges, signs of resilience emerge. Some corals adapt by hosting heat-tolerant algae. Certain fish species shift their ranges, seeking cooler refuges. But adaptation has its limits, and the pace of change is accelerating. The coral triangle's future hangs in the balance, a vivid reminder that the fate of this marine wonderland is intertwined with the health of the planet itself. Only by understanding the science of change can we hope to safeguard the living tapestry beneath the waves for generations to come. In the heart of the coral triangle, life thrives not in isolation, but through bonds woven by nature's quiet genius. Here, beneath the waves, countless partnerships unfold, each one vital to the survival of the reef. Watch as a small cleaner wrasser flits boldly among giants. The wrasser's vibrant stripes signal its purpose to offer cleaning services to passing clients. Groupers, parrotfish, and even reef sharks pause at designated cleaning stations, opening their mouths and gills in silent invitation. With delicate precision, the wrasse picks away parasites and dead tissue, feasting on what others consider pests. In return, their hosts enjoy relief and better health. A win-win in this underwater marketplace. Elsewhere, tiny gobies stand guard at the entrances of burrows shared with shy shrimp. The shrimp, nearly blind, constantly excavates and maintains the home, while the vigilant goby scans for danger. At the first sign of a predator, the goby flicks its tail, warning the shrimp to retreat. Together they've forged a partnership built on trust and mutual benefit. Among the coral branches, anemone fish nestle within the protective embrace of stinging tentacles. The anemone's venom wards off would-be predators, while the fish, immune to the sting, provide food scraps and keep the anemone clean. This alliance, immortalized by the clownfish, is just one example among many. Even the reefs themselves are testaments to collaboration, corals and algae working in tandem to build the vibrant metropolis that sustains all. Each relationship, from the tiniest shrimp to the mightiest shark, strengthens the resilience of the ecosystem. In the coral triangle, survival depends on cooperation as much as competition. The lesson is clear. Beneath the surface, life is interconnected. The fate of one is tied to the fate of all. And in these bonds, the true strength of the reef is revealed. Beneath the moonlit surface of the coral triangle, a silent transformation unfolds. This is the realm of renewal, where ancient rhythms dictate the future of the reef. As the tides shift and water temperatures rise, an invisible signal pulses through the ocean, awakening life to a singular purpose: reproduction. Across vast coral gardens, colonies synchronize in a breathtaking event. Polyp by polyp, corals release clouds of eggs and sperm into the night sea. The water shimmers with pastel hues as millions of gametes drift upward, swirling and mingling in a delicate ballet. This mass spawning is a gamble, timed so that predators are overwhelmed and the next generation has a fighting chance. Elsewhere, schools of surgeonfish and snapper gather in swirling vortexes. Their bodies flash silver and blue as they surge toward the surface. With a sudden, collective burst, they release eggs and milt, trusting the currents to carry their offspring to sheltering reefs. On sandy flats, green sea turtles return to the beaches where they first hatched. Guided by the stars and the pull of instinct, females dig deep nests and lay clutches of precious eggs. Months later, hatchlings emerge and scramble toward the surf, beginning a perilous journey that few will survive. But those who do will one day return. Even the mysterious cuttlefish play their part, performing hypnotic displays of color and motion as they court, mate, and carefully guard their eggs among coral branches. These spawning spectacles are the heartbeat of the coral triangle, a testament to resilience, timing, and hope. Each cycle ensures the reef's continuity, weaving new life into the ancient tapestry below. Here, the future is written not in solitude, but in the synchronized dance of renewal that has sustained these waters for millennia. Beneath the grandeur of swirling fish and sprawling corals, an invisible world pulses with life. Here, in the sunlit currents and shadowed depths of the coral triangle, plankton reigns supreme, tiny architects of the ocean's abundance. They drift in endless variety, translucent copepods flicker like living jewels, while diatoms form geometric mosaics, harnessing sunlight in miniature glass houses. Among them, dinoflagellates spin with a silent energy, lighting up the water in ethereal displays when night falls. These microscopic marvels are the foundation of the reef's food web. Each day, phytoplankton, plant-like drifters, capture the sun's energy, fueling explosive blooms that feed countless mouths. Zooplankton in turn graze on this bounty, becoming a moving feast for larval fish, corals, and even the largest filter feeders, like manta rays and whale sharks. The dance of plankton is a cycle of creation and consumption, connecting the smallest organisms to the mightiest predators. Their abundance signals prosperity, their scarcity a warning. As they drift with the tides, plankton transport nutrients, spark chain reactions, and shape the destinies of entire ecosystems. In every drop of water, a universe of life unfolds, unseen yet essential. Without plankton, the dazzling diversity of the coral triangle would fade. With them, the reef thrives, sustained by the ceaseless pulse of microscopic life beneath the waves. Long before the first coral polyp anchored itself to a rocky outcrop, the stage for the coral triangle's vibrant life was set by the slow, relentless forces of the Earth itself. The story begins millions of years ago as tectonic plates collided and drifted apart, sculpting a mosaic of islands, peninsulas, and deep-sea trenches in the heart of the Indo-Pacific. Volcanic eruptions birthed new land, while shifting plates carved out shallow seas and sheltered bays, prime real estate for coral reefs to flourish. Over millennia, these geological processes created a labyrinth of coastlines and underwater mountains, each pocket offering unique conditions for life to experiment and evolve. Ocean currents, guided by the region's intricate geography, weave through narrow straits and broad basins. These currents deliver a steady supply of nutrients, stir up sediments, and connect distant reefs, allowing species to disperse and diversify. The result is an extraordinary patchwork of habitats: mangrove forests, seagrass meadows, lagoons, and deep-water reefs, each a haven for different forms of life. This dynamic landscape is the engine behind the coral triangle's legendary diversity. By isolating populations and creating countless ecological niches, the region's shifting geology has sparked waves of evolution, producing more species of corals, fish, and invertebrates than anywhere else on Earth. Even now, the ground beneath the waves is alive with change. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and the slow march of continents continue to shape the future of this underwater Eden. The Coral Triangle's geological past is written in every reef and island, a testament to the powerful forces that built the world's richest marine realm. As the Earth tilts on its axis and the sun's journey shifts overhead, the Coral Triangle is transformed by the rhythm of the seasons. Here there are no spring blooms or autumn leaves, but beneath the waves, nature's clock is just as powerful and precise. With the arrival of the monsoon winds, the sea churns with newfound energy. Warm rains swell river mouths, sending plumes of fresh water and nutrients into the ocean. Plankton blooms erupt, painting the water with life and drawing schools of fish in a feeding frenzy. Predators, sleek trevallies, swift tuna, gather for the seasonal bounty, while gentle giants like whale sharks glide in, feasting on the microscopic harvest. As the dry season returns, the sea's calm and visibility sharpens. Coral polyps, sensing the change, begin their synchronized spawning, releasing clouds of eggs and sperm into the tranquil water, a spectacle of renewal triggered by the moon's gentle pull. Turtles return to sandy beaches, guided by ancient instincts to lay their eggs under the starlit sky. Seasonal currents shift direction, weaving new pathways for larvae and drifting juveniles. Migratory species, from manta rays to tiny reef fish, follow these invisible highways, ensuring the circle of life continues. Even the mangroves and seagrass meadows respond, their growth waxing and waning with the tides and rainfall. In the Coral Triangle, the changing seasons are not marked by falling leaves, but by a cascade of life, each pulse and pause intricately linked to the rhythms of sun, wind, and water. Here, every creature is attuned to the ocean's calendar, adapting and thriving in a world where change is the only constant.